شاید یه جوون 20 ساله آرژانتینی که تو محله سنتلمو بوئنوس آیرس تموم عشق و علاقش شده بود تمرینای تئاتر مالاگا و دیوار اتاقش پر بود از عکسای ستاره‌های بوکا جونیورز، هیچ وقت تو دورترین نقشه‌هایی که برای زندگیش می‌کشید جایی برای زندگی تو ایران باز نکرده بود. اما حداقل فراز و نشیب نمایشنامه‌های هنری یادش داده بود که زندگی هم مثل صحنه تئاتر بالا پایین زیاد داره و باید امیدوار و صبور طبق دکوپاژ کارگردان جلو رفت. اون روزا با اینکه چند سالی از مرگ چگوارا گذشته بود، هنوز اما تو آمریکای لاتین تلاطم امواج چگوارا فروکش نکرده بود. مرگ چگوارا خیلی ها رو تو بهت فرو برده بود و داستانش تمومی نداشت. خیلی ها میگفتن میشد زنده بمونه و اگه اینطوری میکرد یا اونطوری، یا اگه توی فلان موضوع کوتاه میومد و فلان مسئله رو میپذیرفت میشد هنوز زنده باشه. بقیده همون خیلیا زندگی چه برای مردم آمریکای لاتین و خودش خیلی مهمتر بود تا اینکه مرگش، حتی اگه اون زندگی کیفیت آزادی و عدالت خواهی سابقش رو هم نداشته باشه. هنوزم که هنوزه این بحثا تو محافل دانشگاهی جهان مطرحه و بابتش حتی نظریه‌های جدیدی طرح میشه. اما برای من همون جوون عاشق هنر و فوتبال بوئنوس آیرسی اولین جرقه ها رو همین بحثای اون زمان بود که زد. مرگ با کیفیت و آرمانخواهانه یا زندگی حداقلی و منفعت محور. چیزی که بعدها فهمیدم که باید بهش بگم مرگ با عزت یا زندگی با ذلت.
Death with dignity is better than life without humility.
Yes. Death with dignity is better than life with humility. Should I? Yes. Death with dignity is better than life with humility.
Tell me your opinion about this sentence.
Could you show it once again? Yeah.
It's about sacrifice,
Yes.
first of all. Sacrifice a life. Let me think.
Depends. It's a hard question. Because there is just a sentence, and this sentence is implying something really, 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 really bad.
Well, it's a tough question to start off with.
لاتینی تبارها همیشه تاریخ جنوبی حساب می شدن. جنوبی ها هم یا باید تن بدن به زور و بی خیال همه چی زندگیشون رو کنن، یا باید برای عدالت و آزادی داد بزنند و مبارزه کنند. من اهل بی خیالی نبودم. اصلا سراغ هنر که رفتم برای همین فریاد زدن ها بود. حتی یادم چند سالی هم دنبال موسیقی اعتراضی مد اون روزا یعنی هیپ هاپی رفته بودم و سر تا پا هیپی بودم. همزمان مارکس هم میخوندم و نیچه‌ای هم شده بودم. خلاصه هر مسیری که بود رو یه امتحانی کرده بودم. اما خب هنر، اون همون چیزی که به ما از هنر لاتینی رسیده بود، فاصله زیادی داشت با اون طوفانی که تو ذهنم داشتم. حقیقتش حالا که بعد 20 و چند سال دارم به اون روزا نگاه میکنم، هنوز نمیدونم دقیقاً چه اتفاقی افتاد. اثر تشویق‌های معلم عربیم تو آرژانتین بود، یا دمخور بودن با روحانی ایرانی که تازه اومده بود آرژانتین، یا شرکت تو جلسات مذهبی همون چند ایرانی بوئنوس آیرس. اما به خودم که اومدم، ادگارد روبین شده بود سهیل اسعد و اتاقش به جای عکسای قبلی دیگه پر بود از تصاویر و المان‌های زندگی جدیدش و عشقش این بود که هر سال محرم ها زودتر برسه و بره تو جمع عزاداری ایرانیای آرژانتین. ماجرای جوان آرژانتینی اما به همین جا ختم نشد. تو تمام این 20 و چند سال بعد تمام دغدغش شده بود پیدا کردن آدمای شبیه خودش. دوستاش هم گوش کنه، هم ببینه و هم حرف بزنه تا بفهمه. اینکه چطوریه بعضیا بدون هیچ مقدمه‌ای یه دفعه مسیرشون عوض میشه، یا چطوریه که برخیا از یه دین دیگه بدون هیچ زمینه‌ای دلبسته اسطوره‌های دین دیگه میشن. مثل همین جوان فرانسوی ماریوس که توی عصر پاییزی تو تبریز ایران اتفاقی و یک دفعه‌ای مبهوت یک صحنه‌ای میشه و
French person also, I would say the French person is a person who loves life a lot. They love good food, like they love like a good wine, they love eating in a good restaurant, going out. I don't know any other people in the world who are this much interested in culture, like theater, opera, cinema.
اولین چیز جالبی که توی ایران دیدید چی بود؟
I arrived in, it was, where did I arrive? In Tabriz. Yes, I was in Tabriz. This was my first city in Iran. Then the first evening I was with a friend and we heard like a big sound, like we heard music from outside, you know. And so we went outside and we didn't know that there was a festival. And then suddenly we saw the whole street was full and all Iranian people, all men, did a thing. It was called Shakhsi. It was when Imam Hussein died. They were dancing and they were kind of as if they were hitting themselves, you know, like it's in September. And we did, I never in my whole life I heard about this, you know. And then we saw this and there were like 1,000, 2,000 people all doing it at the same time. What's it called? Shakhsi? Yeah, yeah, that's it, Shah Hussein, yeah. Like I've never heard about this and seeing this, all these thousands of people doing it at the same time, seeing this at the same moment. This was like, I couldn't look away. I was like blown away. It was crazy. Like it was so beautiful, you know. It was really amazing. Yeah. You know, I went this year, like in May, I went to Karbala and I visited the shrine of Imam Hussein. So I know a lot about it. This year I went to Iraq and I visited Karbala and I visited also Babylon and Baghdad, and there I learned again a lot about Imam Hussein. So yeah, of course I'm very interested in your religion, so I studied a lot and I read a lot about Imam Hussein.
تفسیر آزادلی اولدی تقریر صوتی هیهات
شاید ماریوس هم همون موقع تو خود کربلا وقتی یه لحظه عقب برگشته و نگاهی به زندگیش کرده شگفت زده شده که پاریس و خوشگذرونی‌های آخر هفته کافه‌هاش کجا و اینجا که الان وایستاده و زل زده به زائرای امام سوم شیعیان کربلا. شاید هم فکر میکنه داستان استثنائیش هیچ جای دیگه و برای هیچ آدم اروپایی و غربی دیگه تکرار نشده. درست مثل اوایل سفر خودم به ایران یا مثل تک تک کسایی که بدون اراده با همین مثلا اتفاقات مسیر زندگیشون عوض شد. مثل همین پدر کریستوفر. هنوزم هر وقت پدر کریستوفر حرف میزنه شگفت زده فقط گوش میکنه.
Father Christopher, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you on the Progeny podcast. Considering you are a priest, what made you get into studying and lecturing about Islam?
There was a group of us in Rome, professors. All of us have doctorates in Arabic Islamic studies. So we were sitting around a table at lunch, basically complaining that the Muslim scholars are not writing about the woman of Karbala, for example, substantial work. And we each decided that we would take a female figure and produce a proper biography. So, of course, I took Zainab. I said, oh, well, I know her mother. I'm going to now do her. None of the others were serious. So none of the others actually did anything. The book is called Half of My Heart because there was a lament that Zainab sung, I think, on the day of Karbala myself. Some of the historians put it later, but I think it was on that very day when she saw the body of her brother and his companions unburied. And she refers to him as half of my heart, her brother Hussein. And I thought, well, you know, half of my heart was the Fatima book, and now this is the second half, the Zainab book. Now, I don't have any heart left, I suppose, but I'm certainly going to tackle other issues. But Zainab is an extraordinary woman, and like Hussein, transcends all religious, political barriers. She is a universal ideal. She intervenes a number of times, I think 3, on the battlefield. And she's described, so I mean, I go into quite a lot of detail because I'm very moved by this. She's described in the days leading up to Karbala as quite distressed, frail and fragile on the eve of the battle. But on the day of the battle, there's a remarkable change, and even the Sunni authors record that she looked like the sun rising as she came out onto the battlefield. And 3 times she walks out of the women's tents right into the middle of the fighting, one to intervene when her nephew is killed. So Ali, the oldest of Hussein's sons, he's killed. A second time she comes out to chase after this little boy at Hussein's command, and she can't catch him. He's too fast for her because he wants to fight with his uncle. And a third time she comes out to challenge the men killing al-Hussein. And it's this famous challenge where somebody as terrible as Umar bin Saad turns away and weeps because he's challenged by her and he knows that he's so.
پدر کریستوفرها در دنیای فعلی کم نیستن. شاید خودشون هم ندونن چگونه میشه که شیفته امامی از دین دیگه میشه. شاید هم مثل راهب نصرانی که امام خانواده‌اش شبی رو میهمان دیرش بودند و اون هم نفهمید که چگونه دلش تسخیر شد و چه خوب حق میهمانی رو ادا کرد. و من هنوز دارم به همون تک‌گذاره فکر میکنم، همون که منو از وسط بالانشین‌های بوینس آیرس پرتاب کرد به سمت دیگه دنیا، همون که چراغش زودتر در دلم روشن شد.
In a simpler way, under what conditions would you choose death instead of life? Is there any condition that you may prefer to be dead?
To protect my family or my friends?
It's a very hard question, actually. Yeah. I wouldn't. It's like it would have to be. It depends on the circumstances, right? Like my natural reaction would mostly be the life with humility, because it's still life, and that is just death. So humility, it's not a good thing. But if you have the other parts that make the life worthwhile, I would always prefer life over death.
I think it depends if your sacrifice will later have an impact.
Hoping not to die, but to fight.
Oh, that's so difficult.
It's very difficult. Like I hope that I will never be in a situation like that. But you never know. But the only thing I can tell is that you never know what you're gonna do, because you know, I mean, I think you get to know yourself only in those extreme situations. Like, you say that you do something, but then at the end, it may appear that you will do something completely different, right? Yeah, you should do what you say, but there is a question if you have enough courage to do it.
Exist between myself and Hussein. Can one the hard taste of being one?
I think it's amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing.
You guys are being courageous and like standing for what you believe. So it's really beautiful. Yeah. Like feel super touched just walking up.
Yeah. He who wanders the world of love, I stand alone.
حالا دیگه بهتر میدونم که چگونه قلب جهان تسخیر فریادی از انتهای 1400 سال پیش میشه. اگر دین ندارید آزاده باشید دیگه داره کار خودش رو میکنه و فطرت‌های پاک اما خسته از دنیا تازه دارن آشنا میشن با جریانی بزرگ.
I think I would start by saying how sad it is that you don't know this wonderful story, a tragic story, but it's very wonderful.
The impact of the story is that it's a historical tragedy, and any great any moment like that where people resist heroically is a powerful story that transcends its context.
There's one thing that I do repeat in various ways. كل يوم عاشوراء كل أرض كربلاء. Every day is Ashura, every place is Karbala. And what this is saying is that every place has its moments when people have been oppressed and killed for standing up for freedom. And this kind of thing happens every day. It's happening today, it happened yesterday, it'll happen tomorrow, and it will carry on happening.
السلام على الحسين وعلى علي الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. بسم الله سكريت الرياضة تماما إن شاء الله والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته.
سلام قد کمانی زینب خدا را از این غم چه چاره کنم حسین